Well, I know, but that's the problem.
Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube. And 4 years ago, this was the very first car that I drove on that lift right there to test it out. It's my daughter's Barbie Jeep. It is very, very dead. It's been sitting in this corner for years, and it is moving out to a dumpster, but I'm also moving out of the garage. This is my last official video in Hoovie's Garage 2.0. This is all my choice. I'm not being forced to do any of this, but I am going to be homeless for a little bit, living in the hangar, and the lifts are going to come join me. So today we're going to document this process. They're charging me $10,000 to move these lifts, and I can see why, because it is very, very complicated. It's like moving a freaking building. So it's going to be a big process with that, several trips back and forth to the hangar, and I'll update you a little bit on the fleet on what's left in today's video as well. But let's go into the game plan a little bit as I understand it, but I am totally clueless. They don't want me to help. I would just get in the way, so I'll just be around. But as you can see, everything here is labeled, so when we take it apart, when they take it apart, they'll be able to put it together much more easily. The scaffolding, the cables, everything, so it goes back together like Legos for grown-ups, which really this is what this is like. It's a giant erector set, and they're starting with the platforms here. This first one is loose, hanging on some casters so it can be moved out. Dennis, the tow truck driver, is going to come and actually take these in one giant piece, so we don't have to take it apart, because each little piece of scaffolding is like a 2x4. They go in like 50 or more pieces. So if you can keep it together, it's way too wide for a normal trailer, but a flatbed tow truck should be able to handle it. That will save oodles and oodles of time. And then a forklift in 2 locations here and also at the hangar to move these giant beams, put it all back together, and hopefully it all works and we don't drop it on the SLR or something. So yeah, what a mess. I guess I'll give you a little bit of a tour of the garage as we say goodbye as well. So basically moved in here in 2019, and by March 2020 is when I got the big plaque. 1 million subscribers is March or April. That's very loud. You can see the car issues poster there. Done 3 seasons of car issues. No word on whether I'm getting another season yet. Still sort of in a holding pattern. They were acquired by Warner Brothers Discovery, so they haven't made any decisions yet. The gaming machines will come with me eventually. You can see the Outrun machine, the old vintage Sega there, and then the GoldenEye pinball. We'll be moving those eventually as well. My sister made this as a gift, so that was a fun little Hoovie's Garage wood plaque. And I have to find a prominent place whenever I have a home again for this. I mean, maybe since I won't have anyone disputing decorating decisions, I can put this over the master fireplace, I think. Yeah, probably. This was a table at one point. It was a crank shaft for a Ferrari 599, had a nice piece of glass on it, but my buns of steel knocked it over and shattered it a few months ago, so I need to find a new glass piece for that. This picture is my dad's Porsche 930 Turbo. He bought it from the seller who had this photo shoot done in the 90s. He loved his car that much, so I have that, but not the car, unfortunately. And then this was also a poster that I inherited from him. I think it was something he had in college, and then he pretty much hung it over my crib. So always been obsessed with Countages thanks to this poster. Luckily enough to have one now and still have it hanging onto it. Ed Bolian, nice little custom message. And back in here, another one of my favorite posters from the 80s. Justification for higher education. Really, I guess it doesn't matter now. You can just be a crypto bro and have a house like this and the cars and all of that. A few other things on the wall here. Some friends. Wizard took these photos before we started YouTube in 2016 in Amelia Island. 2008 Member of the Year of the Mercedes-Benz Club of America. Euro-Asian Bob gave this to me when he was the section president back then. And then here's me at Bondurant Performance Racing Driving School in 2004 with my dad. It's like an 18th birthday present. Bondurant passed away last year, but that was an amazing experience. So yeah, all of this needs to go. So this is the last video in the garage. We need to move everything out. And I think my camera guy wants me to put everything back up because he wants to get B-roll. So yeah, nodding. Yes, okay, I'll put it back so you can get the B-roll. Well, as you can see, the platforms for the cars are out. Dennis, the tow truck driver, sent one of his guys, and it's all being loaded on the truck now in a very interesting way. There's just this giant thing that they are using to strap and basically carry it out there, and I'm very intimidated by it, but it's quite rusty. So once those all get loaded, they'll be taken over to the hangar. There's a second forklift there to unload them, and then the rest of the structure can come down, and well, the lift is out of the garage. I need to take down the pictures and get the last few cars out of here, and then I am totally out. Well, I said I was going to give up this barn over here over and over again, but it's outlived Hoovie's garage 1.0 and 2.0, so I guess this is the closest thing I have to the garage and the hangar. But I suppose we could just start the tour of all the cars that are surviving all of this. You saw the 49 Cadillac, and back at the house I have teal metallic loading up all the stuff, my 95 GMC Sierra, and then some weird black hatchback thing, just a car. But we can go inside, show you what we got. Okay. A little stiff. Not me, the door. Yeah. Come inside and look. You saw the SLS in the last video. It's serviced and doing great. It actually has a little remnant of the E-Type Jag on it. Every time it would start, because the exhaust was right here, it would fart on the thing. But the Jag, the E-Type, is long gone. Soon to be gone is the green 68 Charger RT 440 selling at Barrett-Jackson, no reserve, along with 3 other cars. But what is not going, another survivor from the very beginning, Apollo 911, my LS Swap 911, still sitting here. I mean, I really don't drive it all that much, but just kind of fun and goofy to have around, obviously. An LS Swap 911 after I blew the motor once, and then blew the first LS Swap motor, but this one is hanging on. It's doing quite well. On the other side is the Targa again. I have been driving and enjoying this car quite a bit. It's the 79 Porsche 911 that was a cabriolet, got all hacked off, but originally a Targa. Leonard over at the 911 Den, he's the one who put the Targa back on, rebuilt the motor. So that's what's in the barn, but we'll head over to the hangar where most of the cars are. There's still a few cars up at the Car Wizards, like the Cadillac Escalade, the Buick Grand National, but most of them are over at the hangar, which hopefully the rest of the lift is coming over there soon. They're taking all the beams down, and we'll put it together over there. So we're actually back at the Hoopty hangar now. It's been a few days actually. It's taken a long time to put this lift back together, hence all the money I'm spending. But hopefully it will be done soon. But there is going to be some money coming in. By the time this video comes out, these 4 cars should be on their way to Las Vegas to sell at Barrett-Jackson. I mentioned in a previous video, but here they are all lined up. The 1994 Ford Bronco, the OJ Special. We also have the 1968 Dodge Charger 440, which I believe was in the barn when we did the tour, but now it's made its way over here and it's all cleaned up. The 2023 Corvette Z06 is also going, which is very, very sad. And then the 66 Shelby GT 350 race car. These two are really tough to part with, but the Z06, I mean, they're worth so much over their MSRP right now, it just makes sense to do. And the Shelby, well, I won't be racing anytime soon. That's why I bought this thing to do vintage racing, and that's not going to happen for years most likely. So somebody else should be using it. But still, a lot of cars I am keeping. So let's continue over here. Now, the one classic car that's not going anywhere is my 1966 Corvette Nassau Blue with the big block 427 under the hood. I do enjoy driving this car so much, so I'm very happy to keep it. These two are not mine. I've done videos on both the 71 Blazer and the 78 Trans Am. Very cool cars, but they are stored here as well. But we'll move on. This is my 1989 Lamborghini Countach 25th, which I'm very happy to be hanging onto this thing. It is just about my favorite car, at least to look at. Driving is certainly an experience, but not very comfortable. I don't fit in it all that well. Now, I made a lot of videos on this Countach, but one really cool one that's just popped up is with John Tamarian at Curated. He found the Wolf of Wall Street Countach and did a video on it similar to this one, and it is really amazing, the shots he did. You basically use the car as a projector to do Wolf of Wall Street scenes. Really cool. Check out the video. But moving on back here, well, this is in the way. It's not mine. It is a new 392 Wrangler. Of course, the crazy Hemi V8 Wrangler. I did a video on another one in white. This is a different one in gray. That is not mine. It's just being stored here. And then, well, there's three more inside. Then we'll go outside. This one, the 2001 BMW Z8. This is just such an amazing car to drive. I've had it going on 2 years now. The M5 V8 under the hood, and then the 6-speed manual transmission, and this beautiful retro body. Just absolutely love this car. Along with the Ferrari 599 gated manual swap, which was recently completed. It has the Venusia, the purple paint, beautiful Daytona seats inside, Enzo V12 under the hood. Just an amazing experience, and with the gated conversion, I absolutely love this car, so it is not going anywhere. Along with my first car, it's very dusty and dirty, but this was my 85 500 SL that my grandmother got new. She let me start driving it when I was 16, and then eventually gave it to me when I broke it one too many times, and she got tired of paying the bill. So obviously, my first car isn't going anywhere. There's a few more outside we can go look at. Here, come see, you come. There's more cars. The Maybach 62 is sadly sitting outside, but it's still here. My 2004 Maybach 62 with the partition that I did the Jay Leno's garage video with. You hear that little squeak? That is actually the blower working with the solar panel here on the roof. It's a separate fan, a separate blower. It's a little squeaky and noisy, but it works to get fresh air in the cabin when it's sitting outside. So it's kind of cool that it's functioning. Not cool that it's a little noisy, but at least it's working. It is almost 20 years old. Then also out here is the Season 1 Car Issues car, the police car. It's an 84, I believe. I'm forgetting the year already. Not a Dodge Diplomat, but a Plymouth Fury, originally a police car. Somebody bought it and actually added all the police stuff back on because they take it off when they sell it, and then preserved it. So a really cool thing to have with the 78 Trans Am, kind of a smoky and the bandit look. The new SL 63 is not mine, but the SLR in between it is mine, and actually I have an offer to sell it, and I'm considering it. So I may be keeping it, I may not, but it is an amazing car. You saw in the previous video how clean it is, how amazing the engineering is in this car. So hopefully they wrap up on the lift soon so I can move all these cars back inside, and then I have sort of a studio again inside of the hangar. Well, it fits, I mean, like a glove, unless BenPack wanted to send me the triple stacker because I have all the ceiling here to do it. Really don't need it though, but obviously a lot of work to get this thing moved over to its new home, the new hoopty hangar that is my home for now. But the lift has been a little finicky for the better part of the last year. I've worked around it. Sometimes it would get stuck going up and it would just never turn off. I'd hit the emergency switch, everything, it keep going up and up and up, and it turns out it's not a bend pack part, it's just some relay that was failing and sticking, and that is a very easy fix. I was able to work around it, but it's funny, the lift was broken and I was so used to it that the first time the guys installing it used it, they completely freaked out. I was like, oh, it's normal, you just do this. But anyway, an easy fix there, and as you can see, it looks beautiful in here for as long as I'm homeless, basically. I say homeless, but this is a beautiful Hoovie hanger with a condo. I've done a video on this whole thing. So it's a great space for cars, and to continue making YouTube videos. I'm still very happy, enjoying myself, still have plenty of cars, as you can see, so everything is going great. And as usual, thank you so much for watching.